Inside a mansion, a man named William is solving puzzles. The house belongs to a pop star named Sophia, and he is her bodyguard. As he is occupied with the game, the doorbell rings. Upon answering, he finds a strange man named Dursun waiting outside. Dursun harbors an unhealthy obsession for Sophia and wishes to present her with a rose. William courteously requests that he leave, but when this approach fails, he calmly warns Dursun that he will contact the authorities. Unfazed, Dursun remains convinced that he is in a relationship with Sophia and continues to press his demands. But he has to leave apparently. As William closes the door and turns to return inside, the doorbell rings once more. This time, Dursun stands there with a knife pressed against his throat. This time, his psychic issues kick in and he thinks William is Sophia. To defuse the situation, William complies, declaring his love and agreeing to marry him. Dursun even presents him with an imaginary ring, which William pretends to wear. Dursun begins to sing, kisses William's hand, and discusses their future together. However, in a sudden turn, he embraces William and stabs him in the stomach. William collapses and Dursun enters the house. He is fun, hangs around, and takes a bath as William lies down. 6 months later, Sophia is conversing with her manager and close friend, Rhodes. Her assistant, Kaylor, interrupts to announce William's arrival. William and Sophia reunite for the first time since the traumatic event. Sophia reveals that she has completed one puzzle during the past 6 months, since this is something they used to do together. But one piece happens to be missing. William returns home and sits with his daughter Abby, who is distressed over his decision to resume his role as Sophia's bodyguard. Meanwhile, Dursun has joined forces with his friend JH and an eccentric girl named Penny, who are plotting something nefarious. As William, Sophia, and Rhodes are at her residence, JH lurks ominously outside William's home. William receives a call and promptly heads back. Unable to return home at the moment, Rhodes us one of Sophia's dresses. While lingering in the house, he discovers a note suggesting that Sophia is about to fire him from his place soon. When he confronts her about it, she feigns ignorance and displays her entitled demeanor. At the same time, William's wife Eleanor has contacted the police, and an officer arrives on a bicycle, appearing rather laid-back and dismissive of the situation. He downplays the seriousness of the matter, mentioning he has an audition for a musical the following day and needs to leave early. The security guard at Sophia's house, while eating, notices a trunk on the road and steps outside to investigate, finding it abandoned. Shortly after, the power goes out. Sophia lights a candle as Rhodes inquires about the location of her circuit breaker, but she is clueless, despite it being her own home. She jokes about her numerous properties, claiming she doesn't know where anything is. They sit in the darkness, engaging in conversation, during which Rhodes criticizes her spoiled attitude before getting up to search for the circuit breaker. Penny confronts the door guard, delivering a brutal blow to his head. She forces a flashlight into his mouth and continues to give electric shocks to his throat, relishing the experience. As he throws up, her amusement grows. Despite his attempts to stab her with a fork and land a few punches, she ultimately overpowers him and takes his life. Inside the dark house, Sophia senses an unsettling presence. She lights a candle and discovers that the missing piece of the puzzle fits in the correct position. A shadow looms behind her, and she realizes the gas is turned on. Meanwhile, Rhodes has located the circuit breaker and restored the lights. Dursun stands just behind Sophia, and as she becomes aware of him, he seizes her, laughing and apologizing for his earlier absence. As he leans in for a kiss, Sophia retreats and strikes him with a pan, hurling various objects at him until she shatters the mirror with a toaster. Sophia dashes toward the door, where Rhodes is startled as well by her situation. She struggles to reach the latch, and Dursun suddenly attacks from behind, rendering her unconscious. William arrives home to find his family safe. A police officer remains near their apartment, practicing his moves for the upcoming rehearsal. He halts when he notices that the chain from his bicycle is missing. Turns out that JH has taken it and approaches him, ultimately killing him. William steps outside with his family, instructs them to get into the car, and takes a moment to survey the area. Upon his return, he finds JH behind him, aiming a gun at him. Meanwhile, Dursun tends to Sophia's wound, applying a bandage before securing her inside the singing room. Upon waking, she removes the bandage and discovers Dursun outside, communicating via a microphone. She attempts to persuade him of her situation, but Dursun mistakenly believes she is upset with him over the wedding venue he has selected, as he seems to have already planned their marriage. As the car arrives at Sophia's residence, JH instructs William to exit. He leads him into the bushes and shoots him in the head before returning to the vehicle. Penny has joined Dursun outside, where he introduces her to Sophia, mentioning that Penny can play the piano just like her. Penny suggests they could perform a duet together in the future. Shortly after, Dursun departs to prepare for the wedding, changing into his attire. Penny shows Sophia her dress, and as Dursun comes downstairs with JH, who has brought Eleanor and Abby as wedding guests, Penny remarks that Sophia is not as beautiful as she had imagined. When she hands Sophia the dress, Sophia requests her makeup box from the bathroom. As Penny is about to leave, Sophia places her hand on the door, but Penny removes it. However, the plan was to place the bandage on the door to prevent it from locking. Sophia manages to escape and hides beside the door with her guitar. When someone enters, she strikes them hard on the head, only to discover it is Rhodes. Downstairs, Dursun and JH have restrained Eleanor, while JH has brought a dress for Abby, intending for her to be their flower girl. During their conversation, Abby notices that Dursun is sitting on a trunk. She can hear some sounds coming from it and realizes that someone is in there. She asks Dursun to open it, and he apparently listens to her. The trunk is opened, and there is a pastor they have kidnapped for their wedding. Meanwhile, Sophia apologizes to Rhodes and attempts to rouse him from unconsciousness. As he slowly regains awareness, Penny approaches from behind wielding a baseball bat. Rhodes intervenes to protect Sophia but ends up getting knocked out himself. Penny then turns her aggression towards Sophia, who retaliates by kicking her into the piano. Instead of continuing the fight, Penny becomes engrossed in playing the piano and invites Sophia to join her for a duet of a song she has written. Reluctantly, Sophia participates. After an intense performance, Penny's demeanor shifts again, and she strikes Sophia with a reel, throwing her out of the window along with herself. Sophia tries to flee, but Penny captures her and douses her with gasoline. She attempts to ignite a match, but Sophia manages to extinguish the flame. When Penny tries again, gagging Sophia in the process, Sophia seizes a hook and plunges it into Penny's abdomen. Rising to her feet, she mirrors the action on Penny. Penny, in a frenzied state, urges Sophia to set her on fire without fear. Sophia refrains and returns to tending to Rhodes. Sophia tries to call the police, but Penny reappears and assaults her from behind. In the struggle, she drives the hook deeper into Sophia's stomach and confines her in the music room. Sophia then ignites her music sheets and throws them into the music room, unaware that they will catch fire on Penny. The flames engulf her, resulting in her being burned alive. Meanwhile, Sophia manages to use a fire extinguisher, and Rhodes has regained consciousness. Sounds are emanating from the upper floor, but Dursun assumes that Sophia is simply struggling to appreciate the dress. The pastor contemplates the choices he has made, yet Dursun disregards him and ascends the stairs. Upon reaching the top, he encounters Rhodes, whom he momentarily perceives as Sophia. He notices the charred body in the singing room and ponders whether she might be distressed about the dress. He offers her reassurance, stating that it is perfectly normal to feel a bit anxious before the wedding night. Sophia descends, and JH immediately aims his gun at Dursun. She gently strokes Abby and inquires about William, who, it turns out, is still alive. The bullet narrowly missed him. As Kaylor calls out to him, William awakens to discover that it is Kaylor. He also comes to know that Kaylor possesses a Porsche. He drives off, leaving her behind. Upon arriving at the house, he quickly realizes that they are heading toward the church. Sophia stands in the aisle, awaiting Dursun, accompanied by the pastor and JH. Eleanor and Abby are bound. Dursun enters, appearing quite amused, but his expression shifts to shock upon seeing Sophia. He instructs her to take a seat, reminding her that it is not her wedding. He stands up, and when JH points out that it is indeed Sophia, Dursun asks him to be quiet and allow him to manage the situation. As the music begins, the bride makes her entrance, revealing none other than Rhodes in a wedding dress, with William following behind, playing along and guiding him to the altar. William returns to his family and hands Sophia a Swiss knife. As the wedding starts, JH once again tells him that it is not Sophia he is marrying. She is rather sitting there. As he looks at her, Rhodes brings him back to him again, convincing that he is Sophia. The wedding occurs, and he kisses Rhodes, which he is forced to receive. The kissing gets more and more intense as Dursun ends up stabbing him. He falls down, and William walks in and punches him. The pastor tries to hit JH but is knocked out immediately. William takes care of JH and unarms injured Dursun, but JH gets up and takes Abby as a human shield. William tries to convince him to let her go, but it doesn't work. Soon, Rhodes gets up and slits his throat from behind. The cops come in and arrest Durson. Sophia and Rhodes are fine. William promises Abby that he is going to not do this job anymore. Durson in the police car imagines that he is in the car with his wife going home in a limo just after getting married. Borderline is a watchable film. There are some of the scenes in which the humor works, but apart from them, it is a mess. Samara Weaving is great in her role, but the others fall short due to the overwritten dialogues and bad piece of directing. We cannot settle in one scene and let it sink in. It moves to another. The whole creepy bit of Ray Nicholson as Durson doesn't work. There are plenty of psychopaths in movies who have delivered more chills through their roles. Overall, the visuals of this film are okay, and it is better to perceive from its summary than watch the entire thing. We give it 2.5 stars. So that was the video. For more recaps like this, stay subscribed to the channel, and if you have liked this video, you may also enjoy this.